Hello. I just jumped in here real quick to check your work on this. I saw the question about the text. I'm not sure exactly what Sudanta was referring to there, but I wanted to point out a couple of things. I probably don't need to have this open like that, but so I went through and found where we have. Let's jump in here. Um, So we have a couple new things I hadn't really foreseen, I guess, but now that we're here, I know how to fix those, and I'll show you what's up. But for example, we've got an H4 on this heading, and I hadn't set up H4 to show up in blue like the other fonts, and I'm pretty sure Sudanto wanted like the color palette to be followed, so I adjusted that. So this was black, and now it's blue. The black was coming from the sort of default that WordPress was setting up for us, and then also show you another thing here that like for some reason this new version, this new WordPress theme is really condensing things and kind of shoving them way over to this edge. And like this had a paragraph break like right about here, and then this was on the next line down on the site. So I went in and figured out like where that was and fixed the margin on that. Maybe I should have this on inspect. I can show you. Um, and this is definitely just something that I'm going to be working along with you guys on this project to make sure that all looks good and everything. But you can see how that is showing that the blue is the content area and the sort of salmon or orange color is the padding. Well, this originally had this padding on it like this, so you can see that kind of breaks like that. And you can see it has that extra padding around like right here and this just to the right of the cursor. So I went ahead and added this little line of code. So things fill up the page a little bit more nicely now. They were kind of just too cramped as part of the theme. One thing is down here, and I think Debbie might have referred to this in one of the Basecamp things that was going back and forth, but under this panel right here, under discussion, we're going to go ahead and not allow comments. Um, so that way we're not getting that extra field down here because I guess we weren't going to be using this. So now, after I save this, basically everything from here down is going to go away, and it'll just have previous and next posts up there. So that is, we're going to do that. Allow pingbacks and trackbacks. That's if someone shares via social media, and not that we're making the blog to be sharing socially like that, but we might as well allow trackbacks. So when we're going to do these posts, don't allow comments, and we will allow pingbacks and trackbacks. And I think that I may be able to edit that under settings. Let's go look at it right now as long as I'm here. And I believe that's under discussion. So to comment settings, must fill out name and email. Um, anyone posts, email me whenever. Allow people to post comments on news articles. I'm going to take that off. We're not going to allow that at all. Allow notifications from other blogs, pingbacks and trackbacks in new articles. That's fine. And then this isn't necessary now that we removed that. So I'm going to save these settings as well. So that's good to go. Let's see if this clears. And then go back over here. This is the one thing I was mentioning as far as the buying the pro version of this plugin, which is Swift Performance Lite. What it's doing, I have it set up to basically be caching. So it's going to store just a ton of the content for the site in a user's browser. So when they go from one page to another or leave and come back, it's going to save a lot of the content, so it doesn't need to load twice. It's going to be based on what content they've previously um, loaded. And if you've ever like gone through and made changes in posts, or editing some pages, and you look at the site, again, jump over to a different browser and you're looking at a live version of the site and it's not changing, what you need to do is just hover over this Swift Performance light in the top bar and just select Clear Cache. So that's going to go ahead and clear that out. So now basically what that's doing is it's just telling the browser, hey, when we go back over here at this point, don't serve me my previously stored session. I want to have a completely new and clean version of what's happening. So in Chrome, when you're in Inspect, you can do an empty cache and hard reload. And ideally, what's going to happen here now is it's going to get rid of that section on the bottom about the comments. Get off of here. It's going to get rid of that section about the comments and just have our meta content at the end here. And then again, I fixed that weird little thing. So this is the right colored font. It was in black before. It was kind of jarring with all the blue. And then I opened up this width thing to see makes that kind of just a little more room to breathe. Let the content fill the page. So that's about where we're at there. But everything else kind of looked at in here looks really nice. I mean, what's really cool in my opinion, I know a lot of people don't like the new block editor, but when you're in here, each one of these things is its own thought and its own chunk of content. So it makes for a better page as far as like being able to you can use this to like inspect within your thing. It's like we have paragraphs and then a heading and a paragraph and a heading, and the way that the content then is being read by search engines and all that, it makes sense. Like they love to see a list, like, oh, what's in this list? And it's like, okay, offerings, materials, financial donations, perfect. It just makes sense from what those things mean to a search engine. So yeah, I think everything looks great. Yeah, I was gonna suggest maybe like as long as we have that image, might as well put an image at the top of a post, which you already did, which is great. Just for the sake of example, I'm going to show you what this is like. Um, so I'm just going to pick one of these at random and just go ahead and select that and then update it. And this is what I was getting at about how we're not going to be using um, the featured image from the post, and we're going to kind of do a little bit of a cheat. And on the home page, when we make a new post, if there's something that like goes well with that content, or like that Buddha was great at the top of that page, we can just drop it in here. And to change this one, basically just click on that and then go under Edit Image. And then we can go ahead and pick something else out of the media library. So that's pretty straightforward. This we don't need to update. But let's go and look at the site, and this should be interesting here. Might need to clear the cache, but let me go ahead and reload. And this is what WordPress 2019 wants to do to posts. Essentially, is throw whatever the featured image for the post is, like in the background for the header. It puts this dark thing over it. It changes the color on our fonts. It really has a mind of its own, and in my opinion, is really not a good looking user interface there. So again, in posts, we're going to sort of cheat and use this kind of top image, I guess, from a post next to, and this is the latest posts widget, so it's just automatically pulling the headline and the post date from the single most recent post. And we can change this. We want to have a couple listed in here. I think it's nice to have just one. It seems like kind of cuts down on the visual noise. But go back to all posts here, and might be able to do under quick edit to. No, we can't do under quick edit. We'll go under. Oh, if you ever need to get in here to do quick edit, here's where we can change this to draft to take it out of the flow. And then here's another option for removing the allow comments section. We definitely want to always have something categorized, and I can make new categories. It's pretty straightforward. You can change the editor if you ever needed to do that, but that's not what we need to do. We need to go in and actually edit the post and remove that featured image because this is making a mess out of our site. I worked hard to get that header looking really cool. Um, so let's jump back to the site and go ahead and refresh. And we should go back to the way it looks. So there's this image had this weird margin on the side too, so I fixed that. But this is looking cool. I'm really psyched. I'm psyched. I think it looks good. I'm hoping it's easy to use. And again, please let me know if you need anything else moving forward. I'm here to help, and I love doing this kind of thing. And I love being able to share what I've learned with other folks, making their projects better. So there's that, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.